So good morning, class. I hope uh, we are ready to start off with our second session of as of today, and we shall continue with our first chapter of business data analytics, about which is chapter number 8, and it is involving the introduction of such. Okay, a quick recap of what we have studied yesterday. Yesterday we had a discussion about um, the data's meaning and how it is transformed into the information and how it will be transformed into the knowledge where decision making process is involved. This is what we were involved with yesterday's class at the starting. So in the meaning of the data, we have understood that data is actually a collection of meaningless text, symbols, and numbers. It has no meaning at all. It does not give any meaning to the audience. And then, if we process it properly with any kinds, but since we are studying about the computers, so if we process it with the help of computers, with the help of software packages, or with any other methods, this data will be turned into the information. Now, information gives us some meaning. It gives us some context. It gives us some kind of understanding as to what we are speaking about. From the information, if we apply, if we apply to such any other thoughts or any other decision making, we say that we have taken the use of knowledge. So here the decision process starts. We can take the use of such information and apply it on various other subjects, various other fields of knowledge. So this is how the three concepts are being attached. And then we have started with our second topic as of nature of data and the types of data. Nature of the data is usually three types. Three types means the first one is numerical, the second one is description, the third one is graphical. Numerical, it was any data which is having in the form of numbers. Description, it was all those data which was involved having a lot of text. And graphical data was all those data which is represented in the form of pictures, graphs. Okay. Now, going further along, since we are commerce students, since we are the students who are involved in the epicenter of the commerce, so our subject is turning into the data which is helpful for the financial and the costing personnels. So, majorly, we have two different types. One is qualitative and the other one is quantitative. And since it is derived from the word quantitative, we have understood that quantitative data is nothing less than the same data which is involved with numbers. Okay. Qualitative. Qualitative, it involves all those data which is in the form of audio, video, and which is coming in the form of text. Now, further ahead, how do we classify the data? The which is the major area of our MCQ exams also. And there are some questions which have been asked in the form of differences as well. Now, the types of the data, the classification of the data is done into the four types. The first one is nominal data, the data which has been classified only to identify its labels. Okay, so we cannot compare with each other's values, and measurement is also not available. It is just a label. So any item which is identified on the basis of uh, religion, race, marital status, or male or female, that is gender status, colors. So on this basis, this will be known as nominal data. The second type, which we have learned yesterday, It was about order status or ordinal scale. Now, ordinal scale involves all those data where it is placed as highest or the lowest. It is placed on the ascending order or on the descending order. And here, comparison is done. Measurement is not available. Comparison is done as first, second, third, fourth, or the last, the second last, and the upper last. So in this one, we know that any item is placed on which levels. But what's the difference between each and between the first point and the second point? We don't know the measurement. We don't know the distance. Okay. Now the third one is interval scale. Interval scale ratio. Interval scale data, the values of the data are placed on proper numbers in between, and the distance between one value and the next value is equal. All the distance between the numbers, between the values of the data are equal. First. Second, the point, there is a 0 point. 0 point also mentioned in this scale. That zero does not have any value at all. It is just kept it on random. Third, the third point of interval scale ratio is that the data or the data values also contains some negative numbers also. It is used mostly to predict the weather and the temperature data on all of these places. Now, fourth type, fourth classification is ratios, the ratio type of data, ratio scale data. This is the kind of data values which is having all the characteristics. It is having labels. Comparison is also can be done. Measurement also can be done. And the value of zero has some meaning and there is no negative values in this one. Okay. And this is the most widely used. This is the one which is used to calculate the length and the area of any object. So this is the kind of data which is being used. Now, moving further ahead, we have learned what are the stages from how the data is transformed. And there is what is the transformation of the data, how the data is being transformed. So from the raw data to up till decision. So what are the steps involved? So we know first of all we need to collect it, then we need to organize it, then we need to clean it, and then after the cleaning it, that means the when the process is involved, and after that one, we will understand that it has become got some meaning to it. Then afterward, we will integrate it. That means we will join together from all the sources. And the fifth one, then we are going to report it. Yeah. Okay. Then it will be used for the knowledge purposes. So these are the various steps involved from which can be turned from the data to decision making stage. So this we have finished in yesterday's class. Now in today's class we will look into the other remaining aspects of the chapter number 8. In the first two areas of the today's classes, now we are not going into like data meaning or the data types. We are slowly shifting our point of view in this chapter. Right now, we are going to shift our process of thought into like to understand like what is a good data, the data which we get from everyone. We get data from various places. Okay. But what is a good data? Sometimes the source which is giving you the data can be wrong, can be correct. So we need to identify that the data which we got from someone or from some source, it is the correct one. First. Second, if we use the wrong data, the data which is having wrong information, if we use that to our information from information making process and then for the decision making process, then uh, how do you think it is going to affect the audience? How do you think it is going to affect the institute? How do you think it is going to affect the organization? So, whose reputation is at stake? So, all this will be involved in the if we all these stakes will be involved if we are using some kind of raw data. Now, that is one aspect that we need to look. The second aspect, the second aspect which we have to look upon is the ethics of the data. And this is what yesterday's class I was mentioning that this area in chapter number 8 has been asked twice for the exams since the launch of this syllabus in the CMA intermediate exams. So even the exam committee would like to, would like to exert the pressure on the students to make them understand that they are not only looking for data types, they are also looking for the characteristics involved when they are collecting the data from everyone. So the next subtopic which we are going to study is about the ethics of data collection. So if we are taking the data of someone, what is the kind of behavior that we need to maintain? So this is from the human being kind of aspect also. This is not like what do you say the technical aspect. This is from the perspective of a personal human being. Like how your behavior should be towards the others, how your mental attitude should be towards while taking the data from someone. So this the second topic of as of today that we are going to speak about. And the last one of chapter number 8 will be about digitization, turning a manual data into a computerized data. So which is better, which is easier, what is the process, what are the advantages? All this we will be learning. Turning a manual, the handwritten notes, or any kind of capturing photo or some all that data we are turning into a computerized data, turning into computerized data. So advantage steps that on all these things we are going to learn as of today. So in a moment we will start sharing the I will be sharing the screen. Just hold on. Okay. So here is our chapter number 8. Yes, in today's class, we will start with 8.4. Okay, so communication of information for quality decision making. Now, this is what we were learning. This is what I was trying to tell you about. So, what is the significance? What is the importance of using, or what is the importance of using of good data? The data which is of good quality. So, what is the importance of that? This is like, we are trying to say, what we are trying to exert the pressure here is that even if there are people involved with us, there are various sources involved with us to give us the various kind of data to us. We should be we should be also careful to collect the best quality of the data from the people. That is one thing. And the other thing is that before we start processing the data, even we should have confidence that the data which we are having is of good value. Then only we can start the process. Now, if we have good quality information, that means the good quality data, and from there you are getting good quality information. If we have that, then 100% the decisions, even the one which you take, also will be very good. So, if there is good information, then there will be good decision. If there is bad information, do not expect that your decisions will be very good, very good. So, if you want your decisions to be very good for the exams, so go and make sure the starting point from where you're getting the data is actually correct. So, how it is going to affect us in the market? How is a good information going to help us in the long run? That is what is being mentioned in 8.4, the topic number 8.4, communication of information for quality decision making. Yes, with the best quality. Now, with good quality information, the best decisions can be made. As you can see here, the best decisions can be made here. The enterprise should achieve the following abilities with data information. So these are all actually advantages. Advantages of using good data. So now, if there is any issue, if there is any good data and which we are using it, so how it is going to affect us in the long run? Now, there can be any question which can be asked to you like this also, because they can even ask indirect question also to you. Like, what are the advantages which the organizations can face if they are using good kind of data, if they are using good kind of information? So how is it going to helpful for the organization? So, so advantages and what are the various ways it can be helpful? These are all the 5 points of the answers. So now let us look at the first point itself. First point now, let's look into that one. Identify fraud possibilities through data analytics. See, since we are commerce students and all, so this subject is also speaking to us to offer the commercial transactions itself right now. Okay. So now what happens is that they are saying that there are millions of transactions happening. There are thousands of transactions happening in a day. And if we are taking all those transactions data and maintaining it, and we are just going to process it properly and all, then we can, among all those thousands and among those millions of transactions, and if at all there is any fraud transactions, even fraud possibilities also, we can easily identify through the data analysis. Okay, possibilities. I am not saying about the data, about the fraud event. We are talking even about fraud possibilities also. So the computer and the systems will be able to identify the pattern of such kind of transactions, like where are the scammers trying to do the phishing or the scamming of the people, and how they are going to make some any fraudulent transactions. They can identify through that pattern which is going on across. So this kind of advantages the organizations can face. Okay. Now, the next one, create plans for dealing with unpredictable events like changes in the market. Plans, for dealing with unpredictable events like changes in the market. Now, changes in the market are happening from various kinds of reasons also. There are some internal factors and there are some external factors involved. Now, external factors are like, changes in the law of the country. Changes in the law of the country is there one of the external factors. Now, if at all any such kind of factors is coming and affecting us, then all the business goes like upside down. It all goes upside down itself. And if there is any issues with that one, then it is also like affects the whole decision making process. So where is that significance? Where is that pattern that it will? We should know that it might change the way we. It might change the way we understand the organization. Under we understand how the system is working. So for to deal with that one there is a much better there is a use of such better information involved available itself. Now the third one, understand better ways to help the customers. This is about totally about customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction. See, if you are running an organization, you do not have the same kind of customers every day. You will having various different type of the customers with different thoughts, with different needs, with different tastes. Now we have to satisfy most of them as per the business need. Now it should not be just it should not be just like they ask and we provide. It should not be like that. There should be some kind of there should be some kind of helping attitude even from us also. Like when we are providing the service, we should do it in such a way that there should not be any need for the customer to ask it specifically again. Okay. So at that moment, like we can just have to say that that we are providing the services last time on this level, and we found out that what is the after from the good data we have found out that our service was on this level, and the customers were quite happy. But what if we try to make it much better, little higher? So at those moments, like we are getting to know that how to increase our services. This was actually helped from the data information which we got. So instead of the customer asking us, even before that, we have leveled up our game. So next time when the customer comes, he'll be like, seeing that we we have increased the status of our service, and we are providing those things even which the customer did not ask also. Those kind of helps which the customer did not ask and which is actually favorable for him, which is actually helpful for him, and he is more happy to stay with us. So how did we come to know how did we come to know from that difference? Because our data pattern was showing that these are the kinds of areas that we really need to improve before anyone points it out. So these are one of the so customer satisfaction increases. When the customer satisfaction increases, no matter whatever the competitor is doing in the market, we will get that customer right back to our shop. Now, fourth advantage is that quickly notice new problems and areas where they need to improve. This is our for our own internal mistakes, to of correction of our own mistakes, correction of our own mistakes. Okay. See, when we are looking at the data pattern, we can come to know that where is our weakness, our organization weakness. Where is that places where we should be able to, kind of develop more? Where are the places that we are facing lots of issues? And how and what are those areas that we need to improve. Now, when we use the word improve, it does not mean that whatever we were doing is wrong. As I was saying, we were doing something good, but we just wanted to level up. Okay, so these things we can identify if our data information is totally correct. Now, fifth one, get a logical understanding of different types of information and use that to make better plans and decisions. So, if we have a proper in the proper types of information, we can understand that from one information of the table, how can we use for different types. So see, yesterday's class I was saying data collection. I was saying that going and getting the information of the students of CMA, going and getting the information about the CA students, going and getting about the medical students, all that we are collecting, and we are going to take it out and from on the gender basis and all we are going to see. Now see, the same information you can use it for various other purposes also. If it is correct, if the information, if the data which you have collected is correct, then you can use it for various other things. Why to only use it for only for to find out male students, female students? We can use it even for the number of students who are present in which criteria, in which courses the number of students are more. We can even check that one also. And we can even also check for like how much total number of percentage of students have increased, or have we really increased, or was it just a fake numbers that we were thinking. So we can identify various things from the one information which we have, various kinds of information, different types of analysis we can do. So, but for that one, you need to have a good information. So these is the 8.4 is trying to say that if what are the ways it can be helpful, ways it can be helpful to organization if we use good data. If we use good data. See, direct questions can also come, indirect questions also can come. From 8.4 from the 8.4 topic, actually there is one direct question available in the Institute study material. It was just a direct question. What are the communication effects of information for quality decision making? It is just a direct question. But I am trying to signify to you that what is the question developed on the basis of the concept also. So they will just ask, like, what is if there is good information, if there is good data, how it can be helpful. So this is the kind of various different type of in-depth questions also can be asked. Now, going further ahead, we have 8.5. One of the most important descriptive type of the question asked in the exams from various attempts since the start of this syllabus. So here there are five principles, totally five principles are there, and each one of them, each one of them is speaking about our personal nature. It's all speaking about our personal nature, nothing related to the computer systems. Like, what are the good characteristics of using of the computer while you're collecting the data? No, it's all depends on our personal motivation, personal attitudes, Like if I am going somewhere and I am trying to collect the data of someone, some financial data or health-wise data or personal data, if I'm trying to collect, what are the different personal characteristics that I should be following? This type of ethical information is being presented here in chapter in topic number 8. Now, the five principles about ethical use of data by those organizations which collect the data. Remember, there are five principles about the ethical use. First one is about ownership. It is unlawful and unethical to collect someone's data without their consent. So, in simple words, very, very simple words, you can say them. No permission, no collection. No permission, no collection. That's it. In simple. So, if you are involved in getting someone's information about anyone, you are supposed to ask them. You cannot steal it from them. Okay. Even if you are trying to get any simple kind of data also from someone, you need to ask them. Sir, can I have your phone number to be noted down for our administration purposes? Sir, can I have your name and the date of birth involved, date of birth, because it is used for our data administration purposes. So we need to ask about it. It's not just like, trying to get it away without their unknowing methods. So we need to ask their permission as it is first line etiquette. If you are collecting any data without anyone's permission, it is totally unethical also, and it becomes unlawful also. So, as in the second line, I have mentioned over there, organizations will face legal and ethical complications. So, organizations are going to face down in the court. In the court, these cases can be taken out and court case. There can be some court cases also if you are trying to steal the data. That means if you're trying to take the data from someone without their permission, you haven't told them, you haven't even asked them also. So, this one organizations will face the legal issues if they are taking the information from someone without their permission and if they do not follow this principle. So, what is the solution actually? Solution. If you want to get it right, if you want to really take the data from someone, then what is the solution to? And when you don't want to involve this kind of you don't want to involve in this kind of issues. So, what is the solution? Give terms and conditions to the client before collecting the data and make them acknowledge it. So make them now acknowledge means they should know that you are collecting the data and they should get and you have to get the signature taken from them because anything which is done orally is not having that much of a value unless and until there is some written substance attached to it. So when you are taking any data in an application form, you just write it down. This is used for the administration purpose and please kindly fill the proper information. And after collecting, we can put it down over there as your signature of the person to be involved. So that means that signature which the customer has put or which the person who is giving the information has put, it indirectly gives the meaning that he is aware that he's sharing the information with us because that person has personally put his signature in that one. So that means he has but he knows that he is sharing the information. It is not like from him unknowingly we got the information from. Okay. So this is about the first one, ownership. Ask permission before connection. Guys, they have asked many times, they have asked two times this question. Okay, within a span of 2 years, they have this question they have asked repeatedly two times, and the question also was totally directly only they have asked. Okay, now second principle. Yeah, what is the name of the second principle that we can see? It is transparency. Transparency. Transparency is a state of mind where we are trying to say whatever we have in the mind. We are not having any hidden thoughts. This is a mental state of attitude. Okay, so we are trying to say whatever is there in our mind. I am telling something, I am thinking something else, and it is like playing a double game. So, double game and ambiguous usage of words will not be there. It should be transparent. So, what is transparency in collection of the data? Transparency means that you have to tell why are you taking the data. You have to say that. Okay. So just going ahead with someone and saying that, excuse me, sir, or excuse me, madam, may I know your name and your phone number and address, please? So without letting them know why you are collecting it, it is totally absurd. Many people even would have seen these cases. Like if you are going to any big, large supermarkets, big, large convenience stores, and at the time of the billing, the cashier usually asks, "Sir, what is your phone number?" They are just asking. So it is your right to ask them at that moment. Why? Why are you asking my phone number? I just purchased some things and I'm paying through the cashier counter and I'm walking away. But they will be just asking. So usually these supermarkets and everyone is taking the phone numbers for giving the membership about that shops, which is totally your right to cancel it also, and which is your total right to me to not even give that number also. So, but if someone has keeping quiet and they are not telling to you that why they are collecting it from you, then you have the right to ask. But actually, the organization should actually tell them beforehand why they are collecting and for what they are collecting purpose. The objective, as the name is saying over there, the objective for which the company is collecting users' data should be known to the user. So, what is the objective? What is the aim? Why are you taking it? To tell them, tell to the person to whom you are collecting it. So now, so for your easy understanding, also I have written the data. I have written some information in the red text. The purpose of the collection of data should be made aware. Why are you collecting it? You have to tell that one. So okay? So that is our second one. Third, privacy. A client's personal information should not be publicly available. Organizations are only allowed to collect, store, and analyze. Privacy. Okay. Now, very, very, very important it is. Privacy. I have asked someone about their data and they have given the information. Now, since their data is with us, it is our responsibility that we go and keep it safe, totally safe. Safe from the other people who are not at all associated with the data. Safe from the people who we know that if they come to know about this information, it might lead to some dangers. So it is said in principle number three that a client's personal information should not be made aware, should not be made publicly available. So just for example, if any institute is taking the students' names and their phone numbers and their addresses and their parents' numbers and all, it should be within their systems. It should not be going out to any other staff members from where they can just steal it and they can, give it to any other institutes for hashing of the customers, heckling of the customers. This should not be. So the organization which is collecting the data, they should also take the steps to save it also. So they should also keep it in a different folder and try to save it so that others do not go there and attack it. Now, organizations are only allowed to collect. They are only allowed to collect it. They are only allowed to store it. They are only allowed to analyze it. Okay. They are not allowed. They are not allowed to share. They cannot share this information with others. This is totally unreliable and it is totally unnecessary. Now, it is the organization's responsibility to maintain confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the data. So now that is what it is mentioning. It is totally responsibility of the organization to maintain safe and to maintain its correctness and to maintain its availability. So see, we have collected the information from the customer, right? So now it is our responsibility that we to save it. We do not put this information in a main computer where all our different staffs are all involved in that one. So it should be hidden in a manager's room, in a manager's computer laptops, or it should be hidden in a separate hard drive box where it does not fall into the wrong hands. All these kinds of privacy aspect, we the organizations have to look. We have collected it. We should be responsible for the safety purpose also. So this is about the privacy. We cannot go and share it with the third one. Now, fourth fourth principle is attached to the third one. It's slightly attached to the third principle. Now here it says that we should never be able to make the profit out of it by selling this data or by sharing this data. And collecting of the data which is not at all necessary for that one should be avoided. It should be avoided for that one. For example, now we are collecting the information of the students while they are joining in the institute. Okay, so name necessary, phone number for contacting necessary, address of the house it is necessary because if any emergency case happens, we should know where to contact, and the phone number of your parents necessary. Now, what has the institute got to ask from the student about their marital status, whether the student is married or not? Like how this data is necessary in an institute where institute is providing commercial classes, that is commerce classes. Our main aim was to provide the classes to the students. So we would like to know what is your basic qualification degree. Have you passed 12th exams? Have you passed BCom exams? Okay, what is your name? What is your phone number? Everything. We are collecting that one. This sounds logical. But asking the students about their marital status, whether they are married or unmarried and all, I don't think we need this information for taking the classes. So, what was the intention of here? Why are we collecting the irrelevant data? Irrelevant data should be avoided. First one. Second, we should not get a feeling that if we share this information to any other network, any other organization, and they are saying that we will give you this much so and so amount of money if you share the information with us. So, and the amount of money is also very good. So at those times, it affects the way what we are looking at someone's data. So the intention is usually with your not with your brain. It is with your emotional support from the heart. From there, we are trying to see that it should not be having an intention to earn some profit out of it, or we should not have the intention to collect some unnecessary data from the candidates. This is the core principles of that one. Now, coming down to our fifth fifth principle, outcomes. This principle is speaking in a very different manner towards the outcome, towards the output. See, sometimes we take the information from someone and we try to give the information after processing it. So we should be aware that sometimes the news which comes out is may not be very favorable to everyone. It may not be favorable to everyone. So if we are sharing any kind of bad news, if we are sharing some kind of negative news, and if we are trying to signify something over the others, we are not trying to reduce the reputational levels of this another person. For example, medical clinics, okay, medical clinics or the clinics where the diagnosis is taken is happening. For example, blood test area, okay, blood testing centers. So they are collecting the blood samples to determine the glucose levels, or they are taking the blood samples to determine whether the person is having suffering from blood cancer, leukemia. or any other kind of cancer or any other kind of diseases. For those purposes, the diagnostic centers are collecting the blood samples. Now, after collecting the blood samples, the institute has done some process and they found out the patient is suffering from a disease. So how to tell this news to the customer? Now you cannot stay there without saying also, because you as as a organization member, you took the blood sample from the from the customer, from the patient, saying that we need your blood samples to identify where to identify what is happening wrong with the body. Now, if you saw something very bad and you are too timid, too shy to go and tell them, then of course the customer will be waiting to know the result. So how do you break this news? So suppose if the person, if the organization has found out that the person is suffering from cancer, how are they going to break this news? How are they going to go and tell this news? You cannot just welcome the customer with a bouquet of flowers or and just say congratulations, you got cancer. We cannot say like that one. So how do we break this news? It should be in such a manner that we should be able to, like, have that sorry face, and then trying to give them some comfort. So this is the way the information should be given out. And sometimes, and one more thing about the outcomes is that sometimes whenever we are trying to say something, it is intentionally trying to help it out. It is not intentional that we are trying to hurt others. Okay. So now, if it like for example, if in a company is trying to put out the job requirement, and they're saying that there are three people job remaining in our organization, and we are looking for candidates who have passed CMA final exams. So CMA final is to exams, persons are highly recommended for this job positions available in our company. If such a thing like this new notice is given by the company, the person who have not completed the CMA, they will feel offended. They will be thinking like, okay, if this company is taking only the CMA persons, then what about the BCom guys? Then what about the MCom guys? Where should we go? We are not getting any job. So this is what the kind of thinking that the graduate person will be having. But we never wanted to hurt him. We're just trying to tell our requirement actually. You're just trying to tell our requirement. Our requirement is so and so. So this kind of what happens is that whenever we are trying to say something unintentionally, it hurts others. So we have to be extreme careful when dealing with such cases. We have to be, sometimes we need to even come up with the justification as to why are we asking like this one. So suppose for example a construction company is there where they're looking for building building workers. It's always at those places that they usually mention in the same manner itself, looking for mere person more than the age of 20 for the construction of the building processes. This is how they will put the notice. This is how they will put the notice. Now, there are some female workers also in that area who are, they will be having this, they will be trying to get this justification that why this organization is only favoring men towards the work. Nahi, Baba, it is not about favoring. It's only about for the strength and for the stamina purposes. The company is looking for male workers. It does not mean that we are trying to, we are trying to push down the value of the female workers. No, we are not trying to do that one. So even though the company did not want to hurt the feelings of the female candidates, of the female members of the society, but still some people take it as an offense. Even if the organization wants to try to the patient, medical patient, that he's suffering from the diseases also, so that he can start taking up the medicinal properties. For that purpose only, we are collecting the information. but how is the other person receiving ethical values? So we need to be very, very extra careful while dealing with such situations. Coming to simple, coming to the explanation, here it is mentioned. In some areas, even if the intentions are good, collection of the data from the customers, it was I wanted to collect it for some honest purposes. But the result of data analysis, it hurts data providers, it hurts the clients. But we wanted to take that information. Supposedly, that is what I was saying to say. Going blood diagnostic center, morning the person has gone, given the blood sample and came back. Now he's waiting for the answer, but we have to tell him. We cannot just go and be silent in front of him. So we need to tell him that you're suffering from cancer, you're suffering from so and so diseases. So after this one, how is it affecting everyone? So this should be done in a manner that the damage should not be very high. That's what we are trying to say. Okay. So this is called disparate impact, which is unethical. Now it is unethical, of course, when we are trying to say something to result to someone, or when we are trying to tell our requirement to someone. It is kind of unethical, but we should we also try to reduce the ill effects of so and so things by explaining it further and by even by sharing the news in a very sympathetic manner. So these are the five different types of ethical use which is kept over here. Now, so we can understand the first one is ask permission before collection. The second one is that tell them why collection is happening. Why collection is happening. Third one is sharing, not at all allowed. Fourth one, taking profits from the sharing is should not be there. Unnecessary, unnecessary data also should be avoided. Okay, these are the different ethics. Now the fifth one also. Fifth one was that while giving the information to someone, be careful. Be careful not to offend others. Not to offend others. Okay, so in a very shorthand manner, these are the five ethics that we are asked to look into this one. Now, since we have collected two topics right now itself, so we will take a very just 2 minutes break and then we will restart again. Okay, welcome back, students. Thank you for waiting. We can restart the class. Now, coming to our last topic of the of this chapter, it is about digitization. As I have mentioned it earlier, also any data which is not in the computer form, any data which is not in the computer form, we are trying to convert it into computer form, manual into digital. This is known as converting. Okay, converting from manual into digital. This is known as digitization. This is the last topic. So now let's look into the various basic features of that one. Now, the first line is the definition. So if the question is coming from the exams about the definition, what is the what is the digitization? You can write the first line over there. You can see over there. It is the process of converting data or information from analog format to digital format, which the computers can understand and which the computers can process. So now, see, sometimes you are writing down in a paper all the data information. So now you want to scan it and then you want to upload it. But before, if you are uploading it like a picture, uploading it like a handwritten note, will not be able for the computer to understand it unless and until it does not. They have to recognize it from your handwriting to the text. So that kind of to take place. So if that conversion is taking place, then it will be known as digitization. Okay. Now in simple terms, see simple terms also for us to understand. Simple terms we can understand. Converting the manual data into automated system. Converting from the manual into automated system is digitization. This is for in the simple words this is mentioned. So here I was saying this area is definition. Definition of digitization. Okay. Now, why are we doing this? Why digitization is taking place? Come on, we shall look into it. The objective to provide widespread access to data and information to a huge group of users simultaneously, simultaneously at a single time. Okay. Now, what does this mean? And this means that at the same moment, at the same moment, we are sharing the information to various users, to various people who are involved. Now, just imagine I am having I have written in a paper all the information about the students. Their telephone number I have written in a paper. Okay. Now, if I want to share it with all the others and all, I'll be sharing to one person and I will tell him that you take whatever is necessary. After that, you give it to that Mr. To another colleague for his advertisement purpose or for some administration. Now, at times, the other person will be sitting west, the other colleague will be sitting west, and they will be like, without having any work. So what the better way is that in the main computer, you put all the information there and then ask everyone to log in to the main server. So now 8 o'clock, employee one, employee two, employee three, all the people, all the three employees, 8 o'clock at the same day, at the same time, they can log in and everyone can start doing the work. It will not be like, okay, you finish the work first and then you give it to employee two. Then I'm going to employee three. So till the time the work is finished, what are these two employees going to do? It will be waste of time, no? So if it is better if the data is transferred into a computer. So this is what it means. It's a, to provide widespread means various locations access to there for a huge group of users at the same time, simultaneously means at the same time, at the same time. So this can be done with the help of digitization. Now, next, next one, to preserve the data information for a longer period. Now, see, the return of the information, return of the data, everything in a paper is more prone to theft, more prone to get loose rather than say, because in computer you can create many copies also. If we, even if we are afraid, okay, even if I'm afraid that my laptop in my organization will be accessed by someone, it will be someone else will log in and they try to steal it, no problem. Attach it to the pen drive, take all the copies in the pen drive and then keep it somewhere else, or attach it and keep it in the hard disk, or attach it into the some some cloud information, cloud disk services available. Go and store it over there. So one main copy will be stored somewhere. The copy of that one of that information will be available in the servers. Now, what happens is that about the theft case, I have told you. Theft case, the theft cannot happen. The other thing is that you can even store it for a very long time. Even if you want to check it after 5 or 10 years also, you can go and check it out. Now, keeping one piece of paper, keeping that notebook with you for a very long time, and I don't think it is nowadays. It is very practical also. People usually they will tend to lose it. So safety, stealing, protection from the stealing, and for long hours, for long time, and with various people, sharing with the various people. These are the advantages, or these are the objectives of why the digitization is happening. So this is about the question. Like if the question is coming, why does a digitization happen? So this can be written over there. Now, what are the advantages? Why do the organizations digitize? What are the advantages? First one, easier to maintain backup files. This is what I was trying to say. Backup copies, copies. All the data is available with me of all the students in an Excel sheet. Just copy, take one more Excel sheet, paste it down over there. Less than 1 minute, everything is copied. And then you can go and save it somewhere. So why did I copy all such things in a different Excel sheet or in a different file? Because I'm afraid that what if the computer gets virus affected? What if the computer itself gets stolen? Or what if in my absence, someone else is coming and logging into my computer and takes the information? So if I have a copy of all these original data somewhere else in any other computer or in any other in any other system, then it will be very helpful at those moments. So to create these copies also, it's very easy. To create the copies of such also, it's very easy. Now, second, data and information can be accessed by more than one person simultaneously. This is what we were learning in the first point here, that any kind of information can be taken care by more than one person at a time, at the same time. Okay, we will not have to like wait for someone else to finish and then restart again from someone else. No, this cannot be done at the same time itself, right? At the same time itself, so many people can work on those documents. Then access can be done from multiple locations through network system. One person is working in Delhi, one person is working in Bangalore, one person is working at Chennai, one person is working at Kochi. all can get for the information at 8 a.m. today's date, 11th of June, July. At the same time, even if the person is somewhere else, not at the same place, there are all, see, all these four people are all on different places. Everyone can have an access at the same time. So this is one of the biggest advantages. If you are keeping a paper and you are writing down everything and all, and then you have stored it over there, then even if the person who has connected, even if he has traveled somewhere and he has kept the notebook or the paper somewhere else, it will be very difficult for him to get it back from there. So even if the persons are at various places, they can easily get connected to it. Now, last, the third last, easier to reuse the data. Yes, easier to reuse the data. What if we want to use that data again? This is the answer. Okay, maybe after 1 or 2 years, I need that information. Today, I have collected some information, but after 1 or 2 years, I will be needing it. So, when I want to use it again, I do not have to contact the customer again. I do not have to contact the various sources again to for collection of the information because I already have the copies. Then I can use it again over there. For me, for, it could be for any other. It could be for any other process of the information. So I can use it again without any hindrance, without any difficulties. Okay. Now, second last, digitization helps in the retrieval of records during any disaster. Now, disaster, it can be natural disaster or it can be unnatural disaster also. Natural disasters, we all know, earthquake, fire, flood, and all these are unpredictable. And because of that one, there will be some damage of the buildings, damage of the computers, damage of the assets where the data is being held. So at those times, if we want to get back the data of whatever we have lost, and if we are trying to digitize everything and keep it in a main server or keep various copies of it one, then during at the time of damage caused by the natural consequences, natural habitat, that time we can retrieve it. Retrieve it means we can get it back. Retrieval means to get it back. That can happen. Now, what are the unnatural causes here? Unnatural causes is usually theft. So if the person who stole it was very cunning, was very clever, was he outsmarted everyone, and he has stole the data. So at that moment, we can get that get that data again back from our server networks, from our copy server. So there, digitization is more helpful. Now, last thing, this the last advantage everyone has seen this in the modern natural world. So, what is that advantage over there? We can see it is asking for less storage space. Of course, notebook is too heavy. Digital files means the files which we have collected from the people and all in the paper or in the news in the notebook and all. It will be very heavy. Just scan everything or just try to enter it everything into an Excel sheet or in any other format, whatever necessary. And then you save it in the computer. It hardly takes not even 1 GB also to save something. Even if that one, nowadays the technology has advanced this much that the phones are having 256 GB, the mobile is having more than the laptops, sorry, the laptops are having more than 1 TB of storage. Even the mobiles are having lots of storage facility. Even if you copy these many files and try to include, try to adjust it into the computer is still it will show that only 2.25 GB has been used or 0.25 MB has been used. So again, this much of storage space will be needed. So this is one of the biggest advantage of digitization, that storage space is actually very, very less in if we digitize the data. So we can store various data in a very small amount of space. This is the digitization advantages. So I the thing is that in this June attempt, the question had come from the second part of digitization. They were asking like, what are the stages to make the digitization? Now, the first part they have not asked yes still, so we can expect if any questions is coming from digitization in this upcoming sessions and all, it can be for asking about like what is digitization, what is the advantages of digitization. There can be some questions that one. Okay. Now, going forward ahead, looking into the last subsection area of the digitization. Okay. What is the process involved in digitization? So this is speaking about from manual, it is getting converted into digital. So this topic, okay, it is talking about this area. This is what they're asking. What is the process involved? There are almost like 6 steps involved. And for the quick understanding purpose, I have mentioned it here. Justification of the proposed project, assessment, planning, digitization activities, process in the care of records, and then evaluation. These 6 steps will be involved. Now, what is the first one? Justification of the proposed project. Now, try to understand that why are you trying to convert it? So, if you are the head of the organization, if you are the manager of the organization, and you are thinking that you want to convert all the documents or everything from the paper to the computer, okay, just try to find out like why are you doing it? Justify why. Why are you doing it? Is it for long run, or is it for what do you say, for further usage, or is it for various people to access? Why are you trying to do that one? Justify for the proposed action, for the action which you are about to take. Try to justify. Okay. Then, how much will be the cost involved? Try to think about that one. As step one, it says how much will be the cost involved. Do you have computers? Availability of resources. So, do you have computers to do? Do you have that much of computer space? All those things you need to identify, justify. Okay. Now, second one is assessment. Assessment. Assessment is the still what do you say? Like you can just say it as a calculation process. Yeah, calculation process. It's not the actual thing that you are doing. It's just the calculation. Calculation as to like if I do this, how much is the cost? If I do this, how much is the benefit per unit, per activity, per service? How much is the profit I'm going to? How much is the benefit that I'm going to get out of it? So this is coming in the assessment stage, as we can see. Actuals are ascertained for cost. risks involved, and the availability of the resources after studying the market. So trying to find what will be the actuals means what will be the cost involved, okay, for the cost. So how much in reality, how much will be the cost? So if we are trying to get a software expert engineer, a software engineer to do our digitization activity, how much are we supposed to how much are we supposed to pay him? How much are we supposed to pay for the services? All that information we need to have a look. So this is that actual calculation. And what will be the risk? This is also there. What is the risk involved? Does those computer have antivirus programs installed? How many people are going to, log in the same computer? So in that computer, if we have kept the digitized records, is there any possibility of stealing of the information? This involved, and the availability of resources after studying the market. After studying the market, we have to understand, like, if you want to get any computers or something purpose of that one, is it available or not? Now, see, in the next page, you can see over there how the usually the cost is being calculated over there. The organization finds out after calculating the true cost, it could be 10 crores, whereas the benefit will be 10.5 crores. Cost is how much? 10 crores. Whereas the benefit, it's only zero point 0.5 crores extra. So, of course, here cost is less than benefit. Of course, in this number, it shows like this cost is less than benefit. But really, you are spending that much and you're getting profit only this much. It is more. Profit is more than the cost, of course. Benefit is more, but the benefit itself is very less itself, right? Spending this much and you're getting profit only this much. So this you need to calculate before you try to do any digitization activities of the whole of the organization. Try to understand that one because lot of time is involved. Digitization also some time is involved, and then you have to pay the employee who's doing that one. So that whatever the cost involved, you need to take more profits out of it. Okay. Now, what are the risks that is involved? Risk: cyber attack, natural disasters, data safety issues, employee turnover. Cyber attack is about talking about the virus attacks which usually happens. Okay, virus attacks which usually happens on the internet. So if someone is bringing the infected pen drive and they have infected all of the computer, it's gone. Then natural disasters. What if there is any flood, earthquake, fire, and the building has been destroyed, and the building in which the laptop or the records were kept, that also gets destroyed. All this will be checked upon in the risk. Data safety issue. Safety from theft. Safety from someone stealing it. So how are you going to save it? Will you keep it in the same computer or in a different computer or a different hardware or in a different location? Totally yourself that you have to think. Then resources. Last one is about the resources. Who will do this one? Who will do these activities? And what kind of computers are there? And their availability. How it is available to them. So these things, it will be checked upon in the assessment stage. Now, going further ahead, planning. Now, since you have already made the mind to do the digitization, move one first step further away. Now, who will do this? Who will do this digitization? Will you do it, or will you tell others to do it? That means from outside. From outside, you are taking the service, or because it is a very very sensitive information, and some methods are not having that much insensitive information. You're thinking that okay, 50% I will do, 50% outsiders do digitization. So these kind of planning should be done. This is known as automation process. Okay, now look at the planning. This one, step three: decisions concerning. Which process to automate shall be final. For example, purchase, sales, collections, accounts, etc. Automation can be done by. So now you have to decide which type of data that you want to save it from your whole system. You want to save the purchase, or do you want to save the sales, or only about the collection money collections areas? You want to save that one, or do you want to save everything? And then you think in-house automation. This is what I the whole digitization will be taken up by the organization itself. So you are not trusting others, you are not trusting the outsiders, you are saying that all the information is very, very important. We shall only convert this manual into digital. So buy the software, get all those people the necessary in the organization, inside the organization, and get everyone starting it. This is known as in-house process. In-house process. Okay, in the house it is happening. That is why the name is saying in-house process. Now, the second type of activity can be done by the outcome. Outsource. Okay, outsource. Here, you do not have time to do. So what you have done, you have contacted a third party. That means outside. And you have told them that these are the documents. They need to change it into the manual and then change it into digital and then give it back to us. So the whole of the digitization will be done by third party. This is totally opposite to before. In-house is totally inside the house, outsource is totally outside. This is the opposite mark. So in-house and outsource, it is having different. So in outsource, outside person will be doing that one. Now, what is in batches? This is like a hybrid of in-house and outsource. Two of them together in batches. Okay. Now, how is this? You do not have that much of time. You do not have that much of people involved with you, and you believe that some information is important, some information is not so important. So for the important areas, you are saying that we will do it. For the other data information and all, you can ask the third party to upload it. This is known as in batches. Digitization process will be divided between the organization and the third party. It is divided. See here, it is divided. This is the keyword here. It is divided between the organization and the third party. So this how this whole process will be taken on. Now, we were talking about the risk, right? We're talking about various risks, natural risk and the kind of unnatural risk and all. So at those times, how is the risk can risk can be by the organization? How are the solutions available? It is available in this table here. Now, see, first of all, data safety. Data safety. How is the data safety? So, for if you are facing the problem of data safety, then what do we have? We have backup arrangement, copies. Make copy, make various copies, and then do not store all those copies in the same location. Store it at various locations. So if there is any main computer in the first floor and there is various other computers in the second floor, and there is a possibility that someone else will enter in the first floor and they might steal it, so then you try to copy that one and keep it in a different place in the second floor or different areas, different computers of the second floor or third floor. So backup, that's how you have to arrange the backup. Now, employee turnover. Allocate tasks according to the skills. Okay, what is an employee turnover? What is the terminology? I'm not talking from the data point of view. This is talking from the cost point of view, from the accounts point of view. Employee turnover is a terminology where we see that in a matter of time, in this matter of time, how many employees got changed? So, like for example, from the January 2025 up till the December of 2025, for the accounting position, for the costing position, for the software position, for the reception position, how many people came, joined, and then they left? How many people came and joined, then they left in that specific uh, space, in that specific timeline for that specific role. So, you know why does the employee usually leaves the job? Because they're not happy with the job. So we need to find out like why the person is not happy with the job. Now, how this all of a sudden has come into the data subject? Actually, your receptionist, the person who is the person in the administration or in the reception, was having the information of all the students and their contact list. Now, if the reception has joined for 2 months and you have given them all the access of the data, and within 2 months the reception is going, the administration, the administrative person is going, you have to bring a new person. And how can we guarantee that this new person, the old person which has just left, will not be able to, did not steal it and go outside and share it with someone? So if the customer, if the employee is happy, he will stay in the same position itself. So for that, what is the solution? Solution is given. Give the work as to their skill. If you are giving the work which is not at all as per their skill, they will get bored. They will not be having that enjoyment to do the work, and at that time they will leave the work. At that time, the training cost, the data which was outside, everything poof, it all went. Okay, now cyber attacks. Second last one, cyber attacks, virus attacks. What we shall do? Create a firewall. Create a firewall is a kind of antivirus program. Okay, this is an antivirus program. Now, what happens in a firewall is that the whole of the computer which is there out there, this is protected by a software given by the windows this one, and it is protected here. So even if the pen drive is coming here, pen drive is coming and it is getting attached, this layer is going to stop any kind of virus attack. So this is a wall which contains fire and it will burn everything, all the virus or all what is a malicious alignments, all those bits, it will be burning it out. This is known as a creative firewall. Nowadays, most of the laptops are which is coming from the Windows and all. They already have built-in defenders. They have already built-in firewalls also. But if you need some extra protection for the layer of such for the layering of such risk, you can install various kinds of antivirus programs also. Okay. The last one, natural disasters. Install fire extinguishers, fireproof walls. So this is only for the case of natural disasters. So if the fire broke out, or in the case of any other facilities and all, try to save all the computer equipments, try to save all the assets involved with the digitization, so that it does not create a panic situation in the future. For this one, what do you need? You need to keep that fire extinguished, and the tanks, the small cylinders type, which is coming in the red color, to decrease the damage of the fire. All those things should be kept in the office. So this left hand side of the table, it is telling you the issues. The right hand side is telling you about the solutions which is available. Now, step 4, digitization activities. Main work, digitization activities. First of all, planning and capture the data. First of all, you capture the data. Okay, that means you take the data. That's it. Then you do some editing. Editing for the purpose of collection. Okay, so primary quality control checks are done on output for reliability. So whatever the information which you have collected is correct, is the information which you have collected is correct. So that question is info correct. This is the second stage. The third stage, editing. cropping, color selection, all that comes in that. So cropping means to break it. Okay. Now yesterday we have studied about data cleaning in the same manner. That is the same manner. Okay. So which is unnecessary, you remove it out and then you crop it, and then you put the colors also. If you are looking for black and white text, or you are looking for any other colorful text to highlight or to filterize everything and all, you can do it right now in the editing section. Then again, you will go and check the quality, because right now it is almost ready to go and come it out to be stored. So before that, again you check when you added colors to it, when you added filters to it, when you have added various other kind of software and designs to it. Well, did did the data lose its originality? Did the data lose its original form? If it has lost its original form, it is now totally twisted, then the people who are using the digitized activities will not be able to get the full advantage. So that is why second editing is also necessary, which is also called it as secondary quality control. One last time again, just one last time again, you are checking whether those things are correct or not. And then you go and store it, store and management. Then you go and store it. How will you store it? Where will you store it? For in how many places will you store it? Will you store all the information at one location and the same all the copies at various locations, or part A in Bangalore, part B in Chennai, part C in Cochin office? So how are you planning to store it? That will be the management has to think about it, and the people who are running the business, they will have to think about it. Process in the care of records. Step 5. Permission for access, maintenance of data, confidentiality of the data. These are the things that the administration needs to check. Okay. Now look at here. Permission for access. Who who will who will take use of data? See, in the organization, there is sales manager, purchase manager, accounts manager. Accounts manager is having tens and thousands of purchase department also various people working. So if you have any centralized backup of data, you are making it available to whom? Purchase department, or you are giving it to the sales department? To whom are you trying to give it to? So you need to understand this one. Okay, maintenance of the data. What if there is some upgrade to the data? Then is it possible for us to go back to the storage of the data and then go there and remove and put something else over there? That is also the administration has to take care. And the last one is about confidentiality of the data. The data which you have saved, it should not be shared with others. So how are you taking the best procedure for that? That will be thought about. Okay. Now the last one is evaluation. After all the storage activities are done, you need to understand that how can we do it better in the future. Next time when you are doing the digitalization, how much better can you do it? If anything, if if anything wrong has happened in the previous stage of digitization, how can we resolve it? How can we find the answers to it? So that the same mistake does not happen again. So that the same damage does not happen again. This is the evaluation. What went wrong? How can we correct? Evaluation, examination, checking, that is it. Now, this evaluation, remember, step 6 evaluation is of our own activity. It is not the evaluation of the data. Evaluation of the data is already done in the first quality control, second quality control. This evaluation is about us. If any employee was involved and they have done the mistake, so we need to correct that employee. So this is evaluation of self. Okay, so that is step number 6. And henceforth, all the steps of the digitization is done. First of all, try to find out why you are doing the digitization. Second, if you do the digitization, how much is the cost involved? Will you get proper benefit out of it? Try to see that one. Third one, plan. Who is going to do the digitization? You will do the digitization or someone else will do the digitization? Okay, third one is done. Fourth, okay, now you are getting into the activities. So take the data, edit it, crop it out, see whether all the things are properly done. It's still final check, and then go and control S. That means then go and save it. Fifth one, constantly think who will access that data. If you want to upgrade that data, how it can be done. And if you want to, if you want to, check whether the information is not being shared with others, confidentiality of the data, you need to do this in continuous methods. It is not like one time activity. Just take it out, put it in the hard drive, and just keep it somewhere. You need to go and check it out again and again. That the hard drive is there, safe or not. All these things. Okay, and the last one is evaluation, examination of self. The activities which we have done, was it correct? The activities which we have involved, was it proper? So that in the future, if any digitization activities happens, then we should not be repeating the same mistake again. So these are the various steps of the digitization. Okay, guys. So just for our information purpose, and even that information is available in the institute study material. It I have mentioned it over there. One of the largest one of the largest digitization projects taken up in India. Largest largest digitized project in India was the UID or Aadhaar. There was a time in uh, There was a time almost like 10 or 12 years before when everyone was asked by the government to go to the designated centers and give all the information about the users so that a centralized database can be made, so that a centralized ID can be made. And that process was known as Aadhaar. In Aadhaar, they collected our names, telephone addresses, and even the house addresses, even the retinal scan, and even the fingerprints. All this was collected so that everyone gets their own ID. And this one was one of the largest digitization projects. So right now itself, you go to the UID website, you go and click the information, the basic information about you, it will show everything. So this was the most significant step taken up. So henceforth, we have completed the first chapter, and there are some questions as of such below. And since the time is about to cross more than the specified limits, we can you guys can even try to look at it, all those questions by themselves. Okay. Now there are some kinds of questions, as you can see from question number 10. From question number 10, I have included various questions from the examination point of view, like what has been asked earlier. Transformation of data to decision relevant requires going through certain core steps. In light of the explain the steps to transform data into information. So this was the 8.3. This is 8.3 area. Okay, this is 8.3. Any data expressed as a number is numerical data. Okay, fine, true. So in like this manner, various manner these questions are there. Okay, coming down to our question number 14, data plays a study of finance. Explain various ways of classifying the types of data. So here you will be writing down about see this area instead of MCQ they have asked it as descriptive. So nominal, ordinal, interval, ratio, all this one you will have to write down. It was asked for 7 marks. Okay. Now, this was all the points. There are some assignments also I have given here. Uh, you guys, I would recommend you guys to just have a look of all these things, and wherever you feel any kind of issues in understanding that one, uh, you can ask me as in tomorrow's class, or let me know in any other method also. Yeah, in tomorrow's class also, you can let me know through the chat box or in any other manner as to which aspect you have not understood. Okay, so I hope everyone has understood what is being told here. Then henceforth we can conclude our classes. Does have anyone does have any kind of doubts that they would like to ask? Quick doubts if someone would like to ask for anything. If there are no such things, then we can uh, we can move ahead and we can conclude the classes. Thank you so much, guys, for understanding and for joining with us in the classes. Okay, we will see tomorrow again early in the morning for with chapters to with, chapter 9. And before that, I will be sharing the notes as well about the PDF of that one. Okay, guys, please take care. Thank you so much. Bye bye.